I said that PCIe generation in graphics card didn't matter, and a lot of the comments were saying that I was wrong, telling me that it did matter in weaker GPUs that run on PCIe X8. So I bought a 5060 Ti 8GB to try, and these are my results quickly on the screen before we dive in. In the recent years, Nvidia and AMD started making lower GPUs run on PCIe X8, and also the atrocity that is the 6500 XT, which is on X4. Most GPUs are X16, meaning when you put it on your first slot on your motherboard and there's nothing sharing bandwidth with it like an SSD or something, it's gonna use the entire X16, the entire slot. Some of these, like the 5060 Ti 8GB, are X8, so it uses only half the slot. PCIe 5.0 X8, which is the same bandwidth as PCIe 4.0 X16. This is how PCIe works. Every generation is double the bandwidth as the last generation. It's pretty simple. As you can see in some of these games, the differences are pretty negligible as expected. Hogwarts Legacy, Rainbow Six Siege, Resident Evil 4, Expedition 33, there is barely any difference. But something like Black Myth Wukong going from 51 FPS to 37, that's pretty huge. And same thing can be said for The Last of Us, from 73 to 53. That's a lot. So there are games where it's more noticeable. But a lot of people were saying that it is a lot more noticeable when you run out of VRAM. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think running out of VRAM is bad regardless of PCIe generation. Gen 5, even Gen 6 or 7, it's gonna be bad either way. When you say it that way, it kind of implies that Gen 5 is the answer to running out of VRAM. And I did try to max it anyway. In all of these games, I used the max graphics, except in Rainbow Six Siege, obviously, low settings, and also in Wukong, Cyberpunk, and Hogwarts Legacy. Because what's the point in benchmarking at 10 FPS? I prefer to use realistic settings to create a realistic scenario. I don't think this is a 1440p GPU by any stretch of the imagination. Not even close. I don't think anyone should be at 1440p if you don't have at least a 3080 or 4070 level of raw performance. But that's just me. The difference isn't as big as I thought in a lot of these games, but all of this is a little bit useless because the point here is not to say that you should buy a Gen 5 motherboard if you want this GPU. Nah, that's stupid. You can buy this GPU if you already have Gen 5. That's also stupid. You should not buy this GPU if you don't have Gen 5. All of these make no sense because no one should buy this. We all know there is no bad GPUs, there is only badly priced GPUs, right? We all agree on that. This is the one bad GPU, objectively bad. This is trash. This is a piece of shit. You know, I wanted to keep it. I thought it would be nice to have a weaker GPU for maybe to do some testing sometimes. I'm not spending this much money for this piece of junk. This is trash. Fucking garbage. Don't buy this. If you can't afford it, buy a 5060 or something, or buy something used, see what AMD has, but I'm pretty sure the 9060 XT 8GB from AMD is probably the same piece of shit as this thing is. I don't know why this is a 5060 Ti. It's gonna fuck up the pre-build market so badly because pre-builds are gonna scam you by saying 5060 Ti without disclosing that this is the 8GB, which is something I bitched about before. I don't know how to end this video, but I will. This is the end. See ya.